okay, so Brooke, you are a new mom, 23. You guys have a 2-month-old baby, and you have a strain on your relationship. You said, "How do I keep romance alive?" Is that the issue that you're having between your husband or boyfriend?
Yeah, I just figured that you would have some advice on how you and Ela kept your relationship, not necessarily romance alive, but
Right.
just how you navigated the initial first, because the hard part is the beginning where you're having no sleep, and it's just really been stressful, and we've been fighting more than we ever did pre-baby.
How old's your boyfriend or husband?
He's 1 year younger than me, so he's 22 and I'm 23.
Wow, okay. So you guys are pretty young.
Yes, we are.
So what's your routine like? Who takes care of the baby? What's your guys' schedule?
I think that's probably the root of the issue, is that I'm home all day, and that means, the taking care of the baby, taking care of everything in the household, and I also work from home, and so I'm balancing all that while he goes to work at a physical job. And so when he gets home, he wants to relax, and I want, a break, and so we just kind of argue over, well, whose turn is it?
Got it. That's tough. I think, do you feel that he doesn't appreciate like what you're doing at home enough?
Yeah, I feel like if maybe there was more appreciation, then I wouldn't be so offended, and I wouldn't mind taking on more of the responsibilities. But because it seems like all of my hard work is overlooked, it's really frustrating, and we both have been snapping really easily.
Yeah, and what does your boyfriend do?
He works in like a stock room at the back of a retail store.
Okay. So I totally understand the situation. Dude, those first times are so tough. And I think one thing that your boyfriend may not understand is that the work at home is so fucking hard, dude. And I can't imagine that you're taking care of the house as well as the baby. It's just the stress and the amount of work is unbelievable. And I'm assuming when the baby wakes up in the middle of the night to feed, that's on you as well, right?
Oh, absolutely. He is the deepest sleeper, and I have to physically shake him if I want help. So I'm just running on low sleep, and my patience is up most of the time.
Yeah, so you're probably not even getting like a good chunk of sleep throughout the day, or maybe a few hours at a time, right, when the baby's sleeping.
Yeah, just a few hours a day for sure.
That's tough. Well, what is he so stressed out about? Because he goes to work, he has a normal job. I mean, I understand work stuff, but does he help out with the baby at all?
He does when I ask, and I just feel like I shouldn't have to give direction and ask all the time.
I see. So what's happening is that you're resentful because of all the work you're doing, and he doesn't appreciate. But the thing is, I think what's causing the problem is that your resentment is now making you out of not wanting to ask your boyfriend for help, even though he's willing to help when you ask. But sometimes I think with the boyfriend, he's such a young man and he's working. He probably doesn't know what to do or how to help a lot of times. So I don't think you should feel like, oh, I don't want to have to ask. I feel like that comes from the resentment, and that might be a lot of the times where the problem is, because he's willing to help, but in your mind you're like, I don't want to have to ask. So then you get bitter because you're not asking him for help, and so you get more mad. And even though do you understand what I'm saying? Like, I feel like there's this disconnect between you guys there, where I think you should feel okay asking him for help if he's willing to help.
Yeah, that makes a lot of sense. It's very equal fault. Like, I don't want people to think that I'm trashing him or anything. I love him. He's amazing. But I think I definitely get a bad attitude, like you were saying.
Yeah, and I get that, because what you're doing is so people really you can't understand it unless you've had a kid. It's so hard and it's so much work and like, I had help. I had family members. Me and Ela were both not even working at the time of Theodore's when he was really young, like your baby is, and it's just unbelievable amount of stress and work. So I understand your train of thought where you're like, I'm stressed. I shouldn't even have to ask him, right? And that makes sense to me because it's fueled by your frustration. But I think if you could just try to remember that he is probably doesn't know how to help and probably needs the direction. So if you can just try to get rid of that frustration in asking him, if you could just learn to ask him and tell him what you need from him, that would help a lot.
Yeah, I'll definitely just take a deep breath and try to do it from a loving place and not be so angry about it, for sure.
Yeah, but you guys will get through it. You guys are in like the really hard times, and it's normal. It's hard. It's hard. It's normal and it's hard. So it's a tough one.
Thank you for that validation, for listening.
All right, Brooke, you guys will be all right, all right?
Thank you.
All right, take care.
Bye.